Hey,
Did you like blink a few times there? It was weird.
my screen just went blank for some reason.
Guy.
I couldn't figure out why my screen went blank. It was quite confusing. But oh, I'm sorry. Did this disturb you a little bit? It's okay.
That's probably why it went blank, because even your camera can't believe that somehow you have the championship.
I just wanted to point that out as I wear this for the rest of this. It just disappeared. My camera went blank. I had no idea what happened.
Complete BS. Complete BS.
All right. So, as you were, my good sir. It's been a minute.
Today, we got an AEW Dynamite review. We did it. We're back. We found time to do such things. We're very busy. Very important.
Very busy people.
Very important. You know, a lot of documents signed. A lot of companies created. That's what we do.
Yep.
That's not what we do, is it?
Switching up the game, changing things up, a little bit.
Yeah, obviously.
Starting new.
Starting some news, yes. Starting with the news. CM Punk debuted tonight on Dynamite.
Yeah, exactly. It was fantastic. Everyone crazy. Yeah.
Oh, he didn't? Oh, he didn't.
Not at all. Not at all.
But he will at 10 p.m. Closer to 11. So guys, don't take your melatonin that night.
Well, I'm looking at it and I'm like, that match card isn't like hype. I mean, listen, the Jade Cargill Kiera Hogan match I think is gonna be phenomenal. But like,
yes,
there really isn't many big names on that one for Rampage, right? That I'm thinking of.
Literally, Moxley is ending the thing.
Well, Moxley's
it's going to be Moxley and Punk because it's him and Danny Garcia. That doesn't.
Yeah, I'm saying him and Danny Garcia are fighting though. I mean, like,
yes. So
you think he's going to come out and confront
Moxley? No, he's just going to come out and confront Moxley after the match. It's not going to be a match that goes to TV time. It's Danny Garcia. Moxley's going to melt him down, and there's going to be like 8 minutes left in the show, and then you're going to hear, and everybody's going to be like, oh, and we're all going to need a
Or surprise, Daniel Bryan pops out of nowhere.
I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea. Because everybody loves Daniel Bryan, but if it's not Punk, they will riot. Like they're gonna rip.
Well, it's gonna
look like the Malice in the Palace.
What about oh my God, what's his face? The other Chicago native got let go. Oh my gosh, who's the other Chicago native that got let go? That's a big free agent now.
Whoever it is, it doesn't matter.
I'm drawing a blank. I mean, they could just do a big swerve. Phil is going to
that would be the worst idea.
Rampage.
That would be so stupid. Literally, that would be the stupidest things ever been happened in life. You can't sell out that building for him not to show up. You literally would lose Chicago. You know who would show up to All Out? Nobody would show up.
They all bought the tickets, so it don't matter at this point. It's all good.
Yeah, you could sell them things. There's a great selling price for these tickets. People would sell the shit out of these tickets, okay?
In
make
other news,
$2.
In other news, we will find out on Friday night Rampage, which we may be live streaming. We are still figuring out the works for that one, but that could be a possibility for me and your boy. So that's a good possibility that we'll be doing it. I'm not positive yet, Like I said,
we're gonna try to. It's only an hour.
We're busy.
It's an hour. I think we could do an hour live stream.
I mean, we were together last week watching the show, and we didn't even decide to live stream it. So there's that.
That was on us. I feel like if we did it like this, because obviously I gotta leave for the shore in the morning, but like I feel like if we just pulled this off from 10 to 11, and people just tuned in, we could rock and roll it.
We could.
So
we could.
I think it's possible, people. I think it's possible.
The champ's here for All Out as well. I will continue to hold this.
Like
title.
I said,
put that there as well.
Freaking guy.
Continue to put that there as
also,
well.
Just to let everybody know, we are officially in Wrestle League. That is Wrestle Talks Wrestle League. It's us and I believe 1,500 other people are in our in the fan division.
We're going for that.
But the winner gets their own championship belt. Official, not like ours. Official, big boy, custom plates and everything. So
we're going for that title. I mean, I own this title, but we're going for that big title. That's what we're going for.
As a team, we're going for the biggest prize in the IWC today.
Ooh!
So our first order of business is taking care of SummerSlam on Saturday.
And then on Sunday, taking care of
we're going
NXT
to take over.
Exactly.
Okay, we're going to start off season 11 of Wrestle League very, very strong. Because after those two, I believe the next PPV is All Out. So
is it? There's no
New
Japan one I'm thinking of?
I don't know if they're
doing
do
TNA, right?
No.
Okay.
No, I think they just do like the majors. No,
or not TNA, sorry, Impact.
Yeah, I understood what you meant. But yeah, so guys, we will keep you informed on how we are doing in Wrestle League as well.
Hopefully number 1 every week, which you're going to see from us,
Yeah, that's a goal. The goal is to be the best in the world.
Speaking of those, we'll get into more of that hint later. But
yeah.
Oddly enough, here's how Dynamite started out, all right? And we're going to
Yes.
swing over to that. It was odd. Me and Jeff both agree here because what was the point of, and I may have missed it in the beginning, but what was the point of Moxley and Kingston coming out in the very beginning?
I believe it's just to show that they are friends with Darby and Sting. Because
that's what my understanding was.
Yeah, but I guess they're
because
just
they said that.
Pounding that home. Like really pounding that home.
But like you came out before, I don't know. Like if you're coming out with them, you let them come out first and you follow. I get a little odd. I get it because they said they were friends or whatever. But 2.0 and what's his face? Like I'm sorry. Listen, I respect all of you as wrestlers. I just don't like him. I don't like him. I don't even care to remember his name. How much I don't like him. He's no fuego in my book.
No one's fuego, bro.
But no, was Danny Garcia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Danny Garcia.
I mean, they for some reason wanted to attack Moxley and Kingston, which was the dumbest thing in the world to do.
My thought process here comes to the match that Mox has at the end of Rampage is against Garcia, and you know that Everrise / 2.0 will be out there to assist.
True.
Okay, so I think Kingston obviously will be on Moxley's end. You're still negative numbers game. Sting will not come out on Rampage, but Darby will.
You don't think
Darby
he will?
will. Darby cleans house, sitting in the ring, standing tall. If that's who you choose to go with. There's a way to move Darby into Rampage without him being on Rampage. If you want to pull up the angle with a CM Punk.
No, but I'm saying, why don't you bring Sting out on Rampage? Man, my title is so heavy, it's falling off. Sorry.
I don't think he needs to be there. I just don't think he needs to be there. I don't think you need him. You want to even the odds. You don't want to overcome the odds as the baby faces. So all of a sudden you have a 4-on-3. First of all, Punk's not joining Everrise. He's not joining 2.0 and Danny Garcia. Okay? That's not what he's doing. So if that's the only other way you would do it, would be like if you did bring out Sting, then you go, oh, Punk's out. But if it's a way where they clear house, Darby standing tall, here come Punk. Or even if not, then it's Moxley Punk. One of them two is getting Punk. And then Kingston is going to have the greatest match of all time, which we'll talk about in just a wee bit with the promo he put out today that Miro put out. So I am down for that.
So I'll talk about that when we get to the promo of Moxley as well, because I don't fully agree with what you're saying there. But we'll get into it. So they come out, attack them. They call out Sting and Darby Allin. Darby Allin and Sting coming out. And the match hasn't even started at this point. They're just fighting the fight. Right? They didn't ring the bell till after they got actually in the ring, didn't they? Am I wrong?
Yeah. No, it wasn't just. It was fighting. Ding, ding, ding. Here we go.
So they put their finishing move on Darby into the wall of that stadium, which we've actually we've been near. We're not in it, but we've been near. We've been in Houston.
We definitely didn't get hit. I didn't get hit by any ceilings. So.
Well, you don't ever worry about that. You're perfectly fine there. But
yeah, I will never get hit by a ceiling.
They got hit. They hit Darby with the ceiling, and the best part about that, he gets hit with the ceiling. They're all three of them teaming up on Sting, and then Darby comes down and catwalks that thing, and people are just like leaning on that thing like crazy,
right? And just
I'm
torpedoes himself off of it like he's a nut job.
He is.
What's wrong with you, man?
The catwalk thing that he was able to pull off, much respect.
Good for him.
The dive was even better. And then, if you're setting up the Dan Garcia Moxley thing, which they end up doing later in the night, why have Eddie come out and beat up Danny? Why wouldn't you have Moxley come out and grab Danny and throw him to the back? You know what I mean? But
Moxley's not going to beat up both guys.
No. Kingston came out to grab. So right after that, Kingston comes out, or maybe when they came further down, Kingston runs out, grabs Danny Garcia, and just beats him up and throws him to the back. But then Mox is the one saying, "Hey, I want a match with you."
Yeah.
So I don't know.
We'll figure it out. It'll work itself out.
That was by far fantastic. And then what happened? That's right.
We had the classic Sting. Where he was powerbombed through a table.
Yes, he was.
At the age of 60-something. And then he pulled the old no-sell super Sting move.
He got up and went crazy.
And just hit the thing. And
I was going nuts watching that.
2.0 has such a good reaction where they're like, holy hell, that's Sting. And then they back up just enough for Darby to give him a double drop kick into a double Scorpion Death Drop. And just when you think it's all over, he hits him with a double Scorpion Death Lock.
Yes.
And that's how you get the win.
Drop to the lock, and he got that W.
Take that.
And only Sting can pull that off.
That, Roman Reigns. Okay, so you stack them and pin them. Do you stack them and submit them? No. That's only the Stinger. Woo! Woo!
So here's my thing.
Watch how you're saying the woo these days.
True.
You got to watch your woos.
Okay. He's with Andrade in AAA. I mean,
No. Did you not see? Did you not see the incident that is going around currently with Rick, young Rick?
Wow.
There is a photo floating around. Rick says it's not him, but is a photo of a man looking a lot like Rick. You only see the back of his head, then you see a young lady's legs up in the air, and he seems to be having a sandwich, if you know what I mean. He's having a sandwich, and the ladies
you all gotta get yours sometimes. I mean,
but it looks a lot like Rick. But Rick, he posted on Twitter, "The Nature Boy don't ride trains," because it was on a public train that this hootenanny was going down, literally. So it has a Rick look, but you can't say it's Rick, so no one knows. But Rick is trying to say no. The Nature Boy only gets the fly private jets. I don't know. It was,
but either way, the Sting jumping up. So that's the other thing. So people haven't really seen people talk about it. So the reason that that face they made was like, oh God, it's the real Sting, is because on Elevation, Dark, or maybe they did it after Dynamite. They said that he looked at the guys and they lost that match. Was it BT? That wasn't the real Sting. That was the fake Sting.
No, they said it's right. He kept saying it's the fake Sting. It's the one that came out that time in WCW.
And that's what they were playing it off as. And I think that was that moment. Like I said, is when you watch AEW, if you don't watch all the products, sometimes you get a little lost in what's going on. And that happens later on, in one of these other that Paul White thing, which we'll get to in a little bit. But that was the big thing. Is that was that build up to go, this is Sting. Like
you knew it was happening for months that there was going to be a Paul White Marshall thing, because he would just talk crap on commentary after QT would do some dumb stuff, as always.
Yeah. So every time he was doing something bad, there was a thing. But again, you don't see people talk about that. Like that's how that Paul White QT Marshall feud built from Elevation, and has been building from Elevation basically from day one, with how much he does not like QT Marshall. And
now he has a reason to take him out.
And that was a great build to this. But if you're only watching Dynamite, you miss all of that, and then you're in the dark, literally, not on Dark Elevation because you weren't watching.
You're in AEW Dark Elevation, which there's a special edition of it tonight.
Yes, there is.
They're doing it tonight because it's going to lead into Rampage. So CM Punk shows up on Elevation.
Well, I'm wondering if. Well, I'm assuming tonight is the proposal, which is actually what we're going to talk about now. So Sammy Guevara's special news was the proposal, which he did on Dark. I'm pretty sure it was Dark. It may have been Dark Elevation. So I don't know if they got shut tonight. I think maybe tonight.
It might be tonight because
where he proposed to Pam.
Yeah,
she said yes, and it was in his hometown. Yes. So it was
motherfucking Texas.
It was great. It was nice to see everyone was cheering. It was you saw the setup. It was good. You know, happy for him. And then right after that, Shawn Spears did a promo where he says you can spend one night with the Pinnacle.
Right, and you can be on
which
top.
Which is basically the Ric Flair train, just in a different sense. That's all I'm going to put it
at. The Spears train.
That's all. Well, he said no. The entire Pinnacle. The entire Pinnacle.
Yeah.
It was the train.
Choo-choo! It's a different kind of train, man. They're all trains at the end.
That train right there. I don't know how it's coming up on camera. Maybe the other way. I don't know. Either way.
I don't know. It looks like you just gang signed me, but I don't know. Gang sign, gang bang. What's the difference?
From that, it really transitioned right into that match. And they went 1,000 miles right from the jump. Sammy gets jumped from behind. Then he jumps off and does a 450 splash or just a flip on. I mean, it was just a flip onto Spears and goes and gives Pam the kiss.
Yeah, he gave Pam the kiss. Tully gets them with the assisted DDT or assisted pile driver rather.
Yeah, the pile driver, which Sammy sold fantastically, I might add. By the way,
did it confuse the shit out of you for a half second? It confused me because I was like, wait a second. How's he not DQ'd yet? Well, I forgot they never got in the damn ring.
They never got into the match.
Yeah. So this is all pre-match. They were just getting it going, which was nice.
And again, Sammy sold that neck injury really well. The best part was, and I've noticed this more on Dynamite in recent than I don't know if you have as much, but like in recently more is the refs are getting more involved and kicking people out. Like all Bret ever said, no, you're done. Get out of here, Tully. He's with his jacket out and everything. I'm waiting to see him fine on next week. I'm waiting for all of that.
You'll be whipping.
But like the refs are getting more involved. I mean, it's enjoyable because like wait, they're not idiots. Like the refs actually know what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it makes them seem competent people.
There's definitely enough dum-dumisms with refs sometimes. There was like, what happened? I don't know.
Yeah, like in certain situations when you see it in other promotions or in this promotion, which again happens sometimes. Like you get the thing, but you know what I'm saying. But that was a great match. Sammy ended up bleeding at the end. And the amount of kickouts with high-profile moves, like their finishers, I was surprised at. I really was. Like, he hit the C4 from the top rope, and still Sammy kicked out of that.
Yep, and then in return, Spears kicked out of the 630. So, seeing both of them kick out of each other's finishers, and first of all, why they don't book Spears in matches like this all the time, you would notice that this guy isn't a waste of a roster spot. They put him in such bad matches sometimes, but like he doesn't need to win
matches. That's the thing. But he puts on a great show that he doesn't need to win the match to be over. Like he is a phenomenal wrestler. Yeah, and
this match was perfect.
The feud with Cody was the same thing. Like he put on a great show. Like now, I think he deserved to have won that one a little bit more. But I get the reason he lost this one. And it was phenomenally done. Like I said, he's not the guy who needs to win because he's just so over as a great heel and just in general a great wrestler. So it was.
You just need to book him better. That's all I'm saying. He needs to be booked a bit better. But overall, great match. We got the Go to Hell was the which again could make for
they changed. Was that not a G? Wasn't it called Go Sleep originally? Was that not called the GTS?
His is a reversed. That's why it's not the same move. The GTS, you're not up. He's backwards. It's a.
But I'm saying when he first started, were they not calling it the GTS originally?
I don't know. I feel like Go to Hell makes sense.
It does. I
think because for some reason, I thought it was the is using it as the GTS. It might have been like somewhere along the line, like Sammy was like, just change. I want to change the name of it to Go to Hell. But that's another CM Punk potential thing. Like, hey, kid, you didn't do anything in this company besides steal my move. And because he hasn't been using the GTH a ton, he usually ends it with the 630. And it's weird on the match before. I'm not saying he's going to be Punk's opponent now, but
No.
will be a
But
feud.
I feel like he's used he changes his moves between the 630 and the GTH. Then we get into our third promo of the night. I think it was like 12 promos tonight. This was a promo heavy night for AEW.
It's a holding
Christian
pattern
Cage.
until such his name.
He was your Impact champion / TNA champion because he did have the TNA title as well.
True.
And Jeff's buddy Don Callis comes out and basically says that he's the one who put him on and then fired him the same night. And all Christian's response was, which was the best response of all, is "You carny piece of shit."
Yeah, that's his thing. That was it. He just calls them carny pieces of shit.
And it was great.
Walked off.
And I didn't need any more. I did not need any more. That's all I needed.
He did what he needed to do. Perfect.
It was. Then we had another highlight video.
That he has.
It did. Whose
highlight video was this one?
So then it was Dante Martin's highlight video.
Dante Martin's. That was actually really good.
This is number 4, by the way. This is number 4, by the way, in segments. And it was highlighting what me and Jeff talked about off camera because we weren't able to do one last week, is how well Dante Martin performed in that match against the Elite in what I and Jeff both agree was a highlight reel of Dante Martin and how phenomenal the wrestler this kid is at, what, 21, 22, whatever it is?
Well, I think he's 20 or 21, yeah.
Or 20, like he's young.
Yeah.
You're right. And he put on a phenomenal showing that one, and they showed that highlight, and he came out and basically said, listen, I took the AEW champion to his limits, which is true. I mean, like I said, Dante Martin put on a show. He is definitely a next star, and they're going to build him that way like they've built a lot of these guys. Like Sammy Guevara was built last night. Like, we're going to get into a couple other people that got built last night. Then Jeff's other buddy, Dan Lambert, came out with...
Dude, I love me some Dan Lambert. That motherfucker is nuts.
JR whatever and Andre whatever and whatever.
Good job,
I don't
man.
know.
Way to really get Andre Arkolovsky and Junior De Los Santos.
Yes, Junior De Los Santos. That's what it was. From Dana White's promotion because he couldn't bring him from his own promotion, so he went to Dana White, which is very interesting how he pulled that out there. And said basically he did his rundown of wrestling and professional wrestling and how Archer's going to be afraid to come out. Well, Archer comes out. But, Jeff, who decided to stop Archer? Was it?
This is a strange move because I thought it was going to be one of the UFC punks, but instead it was the men of the year, man.
It was
the men of the year. My man Ethan Page and Captain Drag Me Down, Scorpio Sky.
Man, that's my boy, Scorpio Sky.
I love Scorpio Sky, but I don't know what it is. That man just can't hit whatever level that is that he needs to be a star. He has all the talent in the world.
Build him.
But that's what I'm saying. They haven't found the right thing for him.
I mean,
I still think this gimmick is poop. This gimmick is poop. I don't like it.
I like it.
I don't think it's getting him anywhere. I think this is a duo where leave him alone and let Ethan Page become a stud that he is by himself. He's very good. And Scorpio's like fake bad. He's trying to be like the Riddler. Like he's trying to be a little too like superhero bad. Don't be superhero bad. Just have a bad attitude. That's what we need.
I like
I'm not
the way
asking you
he's
to be
like, I like the way he's planning it. I don't disagree with. I don't know. Listen, Ethan Page came from a tag team in Impact to come back to a tag team, and that was my issue with that part. Like these guys are great as singles wrestlers. Let them be single wrestlers. But I like the gimmick of Men of the Year. I like the a-holeness. They do a great job at commentating each other's matches when they're on Dark and Dark Elevation. But that was good. But yes, they came out and then they for some reason got involved now, which I was very confused about that. I really, really was.
My hope is that if you are going to stick to this gimmick that I don't like, that maybe Mr. Lambert, I almost called him Adam Lambert, the singer. He was not on American Idol, I don't believe, right? No, Dan Lambert. No, he was not on American Idol. And he's not currently the front man of Queen. So Dan Lambert may be sticking around to become the manager of the Men of the Year. And maybe giving him a little bit of a rebranding. Like, if you're going to keep them, but instead of being like these fashion funky fellas, they'll be like these fucking badasses that these guys have to go after. So, I don't know. We'll see, because Dan Lambert has to obviously be involved in this. And the fact you brought out your little UFC fighter people and they didn't get involved means to me that they don't have anything to actually do with anything. So
well, they're not trained in anything. I feel like they have no. But I've heard a couple of UFC
But this kind of a
storyline
you'd assume there would be training, but they're not ready yet. You don't want a bunch of goons walking out there. But
then you have the Jericho promo after this.
Chris Jericho?
Yes, the Chris Jericho promo where he said, "Jericho up, my jerk off friend down." That was what the highlight.
Which is a cool line. He should start to. I hope that if he does not retire, that he starts to use that as his cool. Like, I feel like he gets that line over easy. Like Jericho up, and then he makes fun of whoever he's going to beat. And
when we get
this guy down.
But when we get to the end of this, I don't know if it really makes sense because, well, he didn't really
finish off. Who doesn't say it?
I'm just saying. Like, Jericho has always been good about that. Jericho's been good about upping his opponent without bringing him down as much, which he did. I mean, he talked a good game.
Yeah.
Then
I'm going on camera for a half second. I'm still listening to you. I just have to do something. So
that's all right.
I'm listening.
They
continue your moves.
So then from that promo, we jump into the Tag Team Championship match with Jurassic Express taking on the Young Bucks. Which was another fantastic tag match, another fantastic match. All in all the matches that were on tonight's show were phenomenal. There was one that was a little iffy, but I can't take anything away from the performers on that one. But yeah, they put on a show. You had basically everyone from the Elite out here, minus Kenny Omega. I thought Gallows was out there, but I know he came out afterwards, so I'm quite confused by that. No Frankie Kazarian at all tonight. I was also taken back by that one. But there was a couple near falls where I thought the tag titles were changing hands. The Fiend's here. Because
I arrived. This was
because they had some close 3 counts, like 2.99 on both ends. Like it could have ended at any time. And then what did he do? A brainbuster?
Which one?
Jungle Boy did. So Kenny Omega comes out, hits Marco Stunt in the back with his gold chair. That was clearly a fixed chair, obviously, but
he wound up getting taken out by Christian after he did the chair.
So Christian came out and took him out, but where the hell was Frankie in all this? That was my problem.
Frankie's busy. He has stuff to do on Dark or in Impact. So
yeah, they pre-tape that stuff. So I was confused with Frankie not being there to at least attack here as well. I get Christian coming out. I understand that. But I thought Doc Gallows came out with him, but he didn't because Doc Gallows ended up carrying Christian out later. But they get the chair, they set it up, then Jungle Boy does the brain buster to, what was it, Nick Jackson, I want to say?
Yeah, but he seemed to have collapsed the chair with his ass.
He put himself through the chair is what happened.
Right.
But again, like I said, I can't think of it, like this was going 1,000 miles an hour. You know, things aren't. You're not perfect. We're humans, all right. So like, I'm not mad at what happened in that moment. Like, it is what it is.
I think basically what you're getting out of that was they were trying to go with that the Bucks, the interfering thing was going to start costing everybody titles. Is what made it feel like such a close call is because it just happened on Friday, where you're like, ooh, they're going to lose their title. And everybody wants them to lose their titles to Jurassic Express. Nobody would have a complaint seeing Jungle Boy with a title, especially after you saw what they did with this match. They could pull off a really good title run.
But that didn't happen.
So you had that was the first. Was that the first near fall or the second near fall? The first near fall.
That was the second.
The second one was the weird, the move that was weirdly done off of their finisher.
Right. That's right.
Where he basically he flipped. Luchasaurus flipped Matt Jackson into a sit-down power bomb from Jungle Boy, which was the nuttiest thing I've seen. That was absolutely insane. I wish, you know how like in WWE people complain that there's rematches too much. Yeah. I wouldn't care if you gave me about 2 or 3 weeks of just them two going at it, and just
we could exhibitions.
You might in a steel cage. I think you're going to get.
I think you get.
I don't know who we'll get in that, but I'll take that. Cero Romero. A lot of Cero Romeros, you know.
But it was a great match. Interference / distracting the referee, as always by the Elite, which is their whole gimmick. and what they do. So, like, I get it. They don't overuse it in AEW, so I'm not as mad at it.
No.
Because it's really the elite who use it.
Yeah, and that's what they do. That's their thing. But they finish them off with the BTE trigger, get the victory, and then, of course, we have the elite beating down the baby faces, including a one-winged angel to Christian Cage, which Kenny even made them pin. So
and count it. Yep, that was that happened. That did happen.
Yeah.
And then
which was a bit weird.
Our stint of promos / talks is what happened next.
Yeah, it kind of like this was like the end of hour 1, and they said from here on you're just going to get a bunch of talking for the most part. So
we had after this we had 2 matches. Sorry, we had 2 matches after this. So you get our first is Brit Baker talking about Jamie Hayter, who, if you don't remember, was in the company in the very beginning when she fought Brit Baker, and they go way back even before that. So she brought her in as her enforcer. There seems to be a little heat there, and I think it's going to lead to something because she didn't do the DMD thing with her at the end. And
she sure didn't.
As always, you don't ever have a friend. You have an enemy at the end of the day. Unlike me and Jeff, who I'm still the champ, but at the end of the day, you know, if he wants to fight for it, which he will at All Out, and I retain, there's no hard feelings. We're still champs. We're still tag champs. We're still buddies. But
I'm going to
I'll never lose this title. It's okay. But like always in wrestling, it happens. So you're gonna see that, and I think Jamie Hayter is not the next in line, but they're setting up. So Jamie Hayter's taking on Red Velvet, and Statlander's taking on Britt. Like that's happening. So you're probably gonna get a tag match out of that with those 2, with those 4 girls or women. Sorry, apologies. And it's going to be great. I mean, they all can wrestle.
Man.
They can all wrestle. So.
Yeah. Well, they had there was a not scary moment, but last week when Jamie Hayter debuted, the internet, actually, the wrestling internet started to trend because everybody said for a half second when this woman took off her hat, people thought it was Becky Lynch. And everybody thought, holy crap. What the hell? Like, could you imagine, like, this whole time WWE fans are like, just can't wait till Becky
comes back. That would be awesome.
I ain't gonna lie.
That'd be great.
Can't wait. And all of a sudden, if you pull it off and everybody's singing punk, 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 and all of a sudden you turn around.
It's the man.
And Becky Lynch is like, I can't do this here because, God, it is awful. I'm jumping ship. And with no mention of it, just pops up on AEW. That would be a mind blower. But I love Jamie Hayter. She's done a lot to herself since the last time I saw her. She's in great shape. She has a great look. I think a lot of the British wrestling scene, especially the females in the British wrestling scene, are absolutely electric. They can really go.
Oh yeah.
And I think what that women's division is missing is a few good women to start battling Baker. Because right now Britt is running out of its Statlander. And then what? As far as on Dynamite, you have enough that
Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa's next. They're building Thunder Rosa.
Okay, so you got Thunder Rosa again.
Jade Cargill probably the next build. I think Jade Cargill.
I think Jade Cargill is a lot further away than you think. She goes off whenever she does her matches. She does 3 moves and she's done. She's never physically worked a match.
No, not at all.
So I've never even seen her take a bump. Has she bumped?
The shot,
like with Red Velvet for like a half minute.
She bumped with Red Velvet. Their match was actually pretty long. It wasn't short. That Red
I don't
Velvet
think
match.
She's closer. Yeah, but that was with Shaq and Cody.
No, she had a single match Red Velvet afterwards.
Oh yeah, and that's still not enough. I think that she has a long way to go to figure it out.
She's definitely still in training. You can tell she's still in training.
She's great.
There is definitely that. But
I don't think they want to push that because I think the minute that you see Jade go for the title, Jade's winning the title.
Well,
and Jade's hanging on to the title.
I don't know. So, in all honesty, do I want Statlander to win the title? Yes. She's not winning it. They're building it to All Out. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Britt will more than likely retain her title at All Out because they're not going to have her be the shortest rating champion. That won't happen. And then I think what you're going to get is you're going to get Thunder Rosa at what's the next one? Is that Paige? It's not. No,
that's Full Gear.
Full Gear.
Full Gear.
I think the Thunder Rosa may be the Full Gear one. By then, though, we could have ex-WWE Ruby Riott in the company. She could be a good candidate. We have Kiera Hogan, who can go. We know she can wrestle. That could be a good feud.
No.
So
I'm doing a podcast.
So that's another feud that could happen.
Yeah.
Is that Kiera Hogan one? So there's a lot of ability there.
They're pushing her to the moon right away, which is good.
I think, and or you get Jade Cargill and Kiera Hogan, and somehow they introduce the women's tag titles. I'm still waiting for a trios title. I really thought a trios title was going to be announced for Rampage. I really thought it was going to happen.
I think you'll let that. Yeah, I mean, that would be a smarter move to have that on Rampage more often, kind of like the TNT title, where Miro should be on 2 shows a week.
He's not even. He's
going to have to be.
He barely wrestles. Which we're going to.
No, so then, that's why, because when he does, it counts.
It does. So then the next was a Matt Hardy promo and Orange Cassidy. Basically, they're probably going to meet it all out. That was really all it really was. It was a bunch of.
No, they said that's next night's Dynamite.
Is that next night's Dynamite?
Next week Dynamite.
That could turn into a 3-match. That could be a 3-match thing, though. You never know.
Yeah.
But there's that. Then you jump into the Paul White thing, which we talked about. You're going to see Paul White versus QT Marshall at All Out. And again, people were like, whoa, this came out of nowhere. No, it did not come out of nowhere. Yes, they're building it around Tony Schiavone and him protecting Tony Schiavone's son last week. I get that. Yeah. But again, like me and Jeff talked about earlier, that was built from Elevation. That was Dark Elevation, 100%. Then, as we talked about, Jade Cargill promo. Like I said, this is promo. Really run through because really wasn't much of the promo.
Run through.
Jade Cargill called out Kiera Hogan because she had a match on Elevation and then on Dark, so she's going to fight her at Rampage this Friday. Well, yeah, I think it's the opening match actually this Friday.
Is that who's opening?
I think they're the opening match because who's the third match? I can't remember right now. It is.
It is Kiera. So you have Kiera Hogan, Moxley, blah blah blah, and then I just looked it up before I came on here.
I did too.
I literally was looking it up to see who it was because I was seeing if anybody else would made sense, and it doesn't. I think it's a tag match. It is. It's a tag eliminator.
It's the Private Party versus Jurassic Express, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it is. So again, nothing. Like I said, that's gonna be great. Listen, I haven't seen Private Party wrestle in a while on Dynamite. They've been doing it on Dark and Elevation, but I haven't seen. So that'll be a good match on Rampage to see because they're both great.
In their Hardy Boys uniforms. I like their Hardy Boys uniforms.
Yes, I do like that. So then you had the Tony Schiavone interview with the Elite, which is basically him saying, "Hey, I'm speaking for Tony Khan here, and this is where we got to what we're talking about now." So Private Party and Jurassic Express are going to fight Friday. Next Wednesday, you get the Lucha Brothers taking on
and Varsity Blondes.
Or take on the Varsity Blondes. The winner of that will fight, I'm assuming, on the next Dynamite or Rampage, whatever it is. The winners of that take on your tag team champions, the Young Bucks, in a steel cage match, which is the only second steel cage match of AEW history. I'm super excited. So All Out's going to be fantastic. I'm confused again. I always get confused. They have these rankings, and then they do stuff like this. But they're the top 4 teams, so I understand it. Like, they're the top 4 teams, so I get it. I get it. It's not like they're throwing in teams that are random. True.
They beat all of them, and then the team that
they have
no.
They have not fought the Lucha Bros. They have not fought the Lucha Bros because the Lucha Bros have been out. They've been injured. The number 4 team, I don't even think it's the Lucha Bros. I think it's actually Penta and Eddie Kingston. I don't think it's actually the Lucha Bros.
I guess they're letting Phoenix have that one.
But I'm expecting to see the Lucha Brothers take on that steel cage. That's my expectation.
I think what kind of screwed them was a little bit.
Yes, I agree. It was him.
Is the Acclaimed thing, because the Acclaimed was the number 1.
No, they were number 2. Varsity Blondes were number 1.
But they had just beaten the Varsity Blondes like 2 weeks ago.
Well, so they never actually beat them in a tag match. It was always a trios match. So they never really nicked the Varsity Blondes for their losses. The feud was supposed to happen where that was the tag match coming up, and then he decided to do his thing on Dark.
No, I meant the Bucks just beat the Varsity Blondes a couple weeks ago for the title.
Oh yeah,
they had that. Sure, that's what I'm saying. Like all these teams
going to get number 1
had
spot,
their title match.
Yes, the Acclaim was the next one. I agree.
It was basically they would have been if you want to just do a straight tag, but none of this eliminator stuff. Acclaimed was next, and Caster was getting over so well with the Rats with the live crowd now that it was going to be a good match, but
it was.
Things got derailed a bit. Hopefully, he's not gone and he's just being a super troll because he's trolling pretty hard.
Training. It was sensitivity training from what I heard.
But he he was on eBay the other day selling his trunks, saying
was
you won't need these anymore. So either he's just being a super troll. Sean Ross Sapp thinks that he's just being his character and he's not actually selling his gear.
Maybe.
Because he said, like, I need more money this month, so I'm going to have to sell these.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's being suspended without pay.
Yeah.
But
so
this tag team eliminator is going to happen. I'm okay with it. All the teams are
always okay with it. I'm always okay with it. It's just it's interesting when you have these number one contenders, and it's like, all right, if I'm the number one contender, I don't participate in that. You put the other guys in that.
Yeah.
My thing. And then I fight the number two who comes out of it. That'd be my thing. But again, I think Lucha Brothers taking them on a steel cage. Because who else is going to put on a great match in that steel cage but the Lucha Brothers?
I think you got to. Because they did it first All Out where they had the big ladder match thing, and that was nuts. So,
exactly. And they almost died there. I think you're going to see it again. Yeah. I mean, Cody did backflip off of the steel cage, so you're definitely seeing the Lucha Brothers do double backflips off the steel cage.
Yeah. So I think you're going to get Lucha Brothers. That's my personal opinion. It also is Luchas versus the Bucks in a crazy match. Somehow Andrade will help.
No, so I say the Bucks retain. And I say this because Andrade, which is 2 promos away, so we're just going to skip to that one. Andrade, so they were talking about them being in the match with Pac. Pac taking on Andrade. Andrade comes out and says, hey, here's my list of demands that you have to meet to fight me. And at the very end of that promo, which again, we're running through them, Chavo says, or Andrade says, one of them says, you will not win the titles with him. So I think the Lucha Brothers will lose that match because of that statement. Because I think they're trying to split up the Death Triangle. I think that's what's happening.
Yeah,
I don't know 100%.
It's going to be the Andrade.
I don't know why,
Super
because
Luchas.
I like that triangle, but like I think that's what's maybe happening. So you're going to see them lose. Because I still think, which they haven't really seen him in a while since FTR got injured with that horrific thing. Was that Cash who got that arm ripped off? But either way, I think it is Pride and Powerful taking the titles at Grand Champions or whatever it's called. I think that's when they lose their title. That's what I think is happening. They win it in New York, and that is it. Because they're overdue for their titles. Not that the Lucha Brothers aren't, but that's my thought process. Another quick promo. Taz came out with Hook. Ricky Starks walks out, calls out Cage, then realizes that Cage is actually beating up Hobbs. Hobbs has beat up Cage, and they all run away. Pretty much dumb.
I don't care for it. I love Ricky Starks, but I don't care for this.
It was just a dumb promo. Before I get to the other match, I'm just going to run through the quick promos real quick. There was Brock Anderson and Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson was talking about him getting that Malachi destroyed him, all that stuff, and that you're going to die, Brock, because Brock is going to take on Malachi next week.
He's going to die. Yeah.
And he's like, you're going to die. He goes, I don't care, Father. I'm not airing our family business here. I'm doing this. So that should be a squash match.
He's going to die.
All great kinds. Real quick, Thunder Rosa defeated Penelope Ford. It was a great match. There were some mishaps, but again, we're all human. I'm not mad at it. They still put on a great match. Penelope Ford had her finishing submission on, and Thunder Rosa reversed it. Yeah, it was, and Thunder Rosa put her submission on, and Penelope Ford, like, they put on a spectacle, and I was pleased by all of it. Listen, there were some missteps here and there, but it was good. It was still a good match, and those women, shout out to those women, they did their job, and it was phenomenal. Miro then challenges. First off, he's mad that Fuego got the contract after losing to him, and he's out for Fuego still. He definitely said he was still out for Fuego. He's going to kill Fuego.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a chance he's still going to kill him at some point.
And then he said, Eddie Kingston, you're my next opponent. Which
okay, sign me up.
I'm 100% happy with. I want to see that 10 times over. Was that
you can sign me up for any day of the week.
Was that next week?
He didn't. There's no response from Kingston yet, so I think it is going to be on Dynamite, but we'll see.
Or maybe they just pushed it all out for 3 weeks or whatever it is. Then John Moxley's promo. Let's talk about this real quick before the final match. Not only does he rip apart the entire roster, which is why I don't think anyone's going to be out there with him next week. But he also said he's a loner. He's a lone wolf. Doesn't need anybody. So that's why I'm thinking that on Friday night he had nobody with him because of that. He tore apart Paige. He tore apart Cage which I don't get because Christian won the title, but I was confused about that one. But basically, Christian was a disappointment to him. Then he also hit it with CM Punk and Daniel Bryan things in his whole gesture of things that he said. He definitely said something about that.
Yeah.
But basically, at the end of the whole thing, he basically said, "I'm killing you, Danny Garcia." Without saying, "I'm going to kill you," he's going to kill him.
Yeah,
That's what it came down to. But he had CM Punk punches in there. He had Daniel Bryan punches in there that were subliminal. Like, it wasn't like he called out Paige and Cage and
Yes,
everybody else under the sun. It was punch after punch with those guys straight up. He had those underhooks with the other two, which is very interesting, and I'm excited to see what happens on Friday night. Then is the match of all matches. Jeff's buddy of all buddies, my jerk-off friend. Well, he's right here with me, as you can tell.
I am the jerk-off friend.
And Jericho. And Jericho could not use the Judas effect. He didn't have the Judas music. And the best entrance of all time, I'm saying it now, and I've been watching wrestling my whole life, the fans singing Judas was by far the best.
That was awesome.
Nothing tops that. Nothing tops that.
That
was phenomenal.
They blew that thing out the water, which is really cool.
What would have topped that would have been me being in the crowd for that part of it. Like, that was phenomenal. Like, the only other entrance...
They were missing your melodies.
They were. The only other... Both are melodies. The only other entrance that is by far, like, one of the best entrances ever is the Undertaker's entrance. It takes 20 years. Which me and Jeff saw in person for his last appearance, by the way. I will say that. But it was under the ring, so it wasn't as bad.
Yeah, thank God it wasn't... We didn't have the entrance. We just had a quick...
But still... Like that was the best entrance. The fans made that entrance. I'm wondering if they had them sing it prior to know other words, because you could see people on their phones sing it, which is hilarious.
Yeah, but they didn't say you need to know it by heart, but everybody knows the chorus. Nobody sings them.
Yeah.
The word.
But it was still good. I enjoyed every second of that.
I loved it, man.
But to my surprise and Jeff's surprise, but at the same time I get it. My jerk off friend won. And which was a very, very good match. Like, I'm not taking anything away. I mean, it was a great match put on. Jericho did the Lion Salt and hit it perfect. Fans went crazy for that. He had the match won with Floyd, and then he was going for the Juice effect. He realized he couldn't do it, and then he got hit with his own move, and then I put in the Salt of the Earth for like the 18th time that night, 20th time that night, whatever it was, and he kept getting out of it because that time he couldn't.
And then at the end, he just couldn't. And it's a good story because even with him losing, it's credible because MJF beat him with zero interference, which is perfect. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you don't have Jericho look weak because he just spent the last 4 weeks getting beat up by Spears, Nick Gage, Juventud Guerrero, and Wardlow. And in that time, MJF didn't do anything.
Sat around and did nothing.
A fresh 24-year-old against a beat-up 50-plus-year-old. That's what you're going to get there. So
exactly,
it made everybody still strong, and it didn't really it didn't.
No, it doesn't hurt Jericho. But when you talk about AEW building stars for the future, you just built MJF. You built Sammy Guevara tonight. You built. He
understands what it means to pass the torch. Yeah. He understands how old he is. He understands that. Guess what?
He went through those labors to prove that, I still have it. And it's not like he lost on the first one. It took a multitude of salts of the earth for him to lose. So like I said, he lost, but it wasn't a loss like, oh, you suck loss, like where you see happen to other people. It was, he fought his hardest, and even in losing, Jericho still won, even at his age.
Oh, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. So I think this was tremendous. There was a tweet by Jericho last night after everything, thanking Houston for one of the greatest memories of his life that he'll be able to tell down the line. He said, "But for right now, I have some serious soul searching to do." So I don't know if that's going to hint to he's leaving now or MJF rematch, all out, career on the line match, and then he leaves. Obviously, he'll still be a part of AEW, but not wrestle. So I think he's just going to go away for a bit. I think he just needs to refresh. And Fozzy starts touring right after, right after All Out. So he has some free time until then.
We say that, but who knows? This thing's flipping around reverse again, so he may not be touring again. Just saying that thing that should not
they
be
might
named
be in Daly's place.
Has been hitting again.
Might be Daly's place all over again, guys.
But so here's my thing with Jericho, and here's my thing with AEW. When someone says they're taking time to soul search or they get really destroyed in a match or whatever, they disappear for a while. So I don't think we're seeing Jericho, MJF at all out. I don't think Jericho's coming back at all for a while. When he says he's doing soul searching, I think he may do soul. Now, maybe they have a promo of him soul searching, and it could be a long build. It could be him taking off because he is going to fight, going to possibly.
I would think like you give him this upcoming week off.
But he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be on Rampage. He's supposed to commentate on Rampage. Like,
oh yeah, he is. Maybe he'll be off Rampage for this week too, since they only have 600 people with a microphone. They should be okay. But what I would do is at least give him this week off because guess what? You already have a guy coming in, assumingly coming in that will be able to handle the show for the next few weeks. Okay, like I think you'll be okay if Jericho doesn't show up because you'll have a certain Second City savior floating around the ring now. So he'll be able to hide it and then you'll have next week you got Malachi Black wrestling. So everybody's gonna be okay with that. I'm assuming the minute CM Punk shows up on a television show, he's booked for good. Like so if he's not on Dynamite after that would be absolutely nuts. So I think you're gonna get something good. I
can see because you're not gonna they don't push like there's very few that you see on week to week basis for the most part. They have a bunch of wrestlers, so they purposely space all the wrestlers out. Like Jericho is by far that I can think of, and maybe like the champions from time to time, but like who has consistently fought 5 weeks straight. By the way, usually you don't see them fight every week, all week basis.
No.
Like Sammy Guevara, he was fighting every like month type of deal. Like these guys were all fighting. Like so, it was shocking to see someone like Jericho fighting that long. So
I agree.
All in all, it was good though.
Yeah, so, I think it was a good show. It had that second hour kind of had that we're holding tight as hard as we can because we understand Friday we're about to blow the roof off a day before SummerSlam. Good job.
Or they're just trolling all of you and it's not really happening.
I'm telling you.
I'm just saying.
Business-wise, that's the dumbest thing they could do. Dumbest. Okay, do not. When you did the Christian thing, people were like, all right, we still got Christian. But you literally have been saying best in the world. You booked the Bulls Stadium. You don't want to book 21,000 and then come out with like Colt Cabana saying, hey, I am Chicago's best. Like, you don't do it. Don't do it. Just you better if we don't hear Colt personality, then the only thing people want to see that they keep saying, and I think would be stupid, but at the same time kind of funny, MJF comes out, but to CM Punk's music.
Mm-hmm.
Just ultimate troll job. But he might actually get killed. He might physically get killed, though. I don't know. I don't think they want him to die.
Well, obviously,
like someone's going to jump a barricade and So
CM Punk can't come out to his own music. It's going to be a variation of his music, I would imagine. Like
Cult of Personality is a free song. WWE does not own Cult of Personality.
They didn't turn around and decide to own it on him. I wouldn't be surprised.
No, because that's not an original WWE track. That they just leased it for when they had it. They let it go, and
did they let it go? Okay.
Living Color actually followed AEW last week. Who's their song? So they are perfectly okay with that song being used.
They are okay with it because they're getting paid probably $80,000.
Tony's already taking care of them. Yeah, come on, if Tony gets wild,
Phil's not coming out on Friday night.
And then Daniel Bryan's going to get Final Countdown. So everybody's going to get the songs they want.
Final Countdown.
That was his ROH theme. I'm down for it. So
I imagine, yeah. They'll get their old promos for that one. And then in a couple months down the line, we're going to see Adam Cole, baby.
I think you might see him at All Out, baby. It's literally SummerSlam weekend. He's done. I don't know. And if his anything,
he should be on a 30-day contract.
He might have a 30.
Yeah,
if he has a 30, then you'll see him after All Out. But
unless the extension he got pulled him away from a 30-day and he was able to do like a 10-day or whatever. I think he'll end up staying with that other company, but we'll see.
We'll see. But let's wrap this sucker up because we are almost at an hour.
Yeah, that's what we got for Dynamite. hopefully we'll be back Friday night. If not, I may come back next week since my boy Jeff is going to be enjoying the beach for a whole week. So maybe I'll come back next week. I'll do a little one-on-one with all you guys, and if Jeff wants to pop in for a little bit, he's more than welcome to. But until we see you next time, your champion right here. This is the People's Champ right here. Yep, that's it. People's Champ.
And the number one contender right here. Right here.
Bring it. Any of you bring it. Let's go. Let's go. Champ.
I'm go.
Out. Peace.
Later. Peace.